Hello, it is Saturday, November 13th, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's the Saturday puzzle, the second of our two themeless puzzles of the week, and probably the most difficult puzzle of the week, although I don't know. This has been, I would say, a tough Thursday and Friday, so perhaps maybe we'll get a slightly easier ride on Saturday to compensate. That does sometimes happen, but there's really no way to know. By the time this video is live, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you should be able to see this week's solve of my Boss Words Fall Themeless League competition puzzle. So that is the sixth Boss Words Fall Themeless League puzzle I've solved for the Patreon subscribers. And if you're one of them, then you can enjoy me once again really have to battle my way through that crossword. Those are tough. They are very difficult. I was hoping to improve. I had done a little better in the recent puzzles, and I was hoping to improve on that. Backslid a bit. I do still think I'm improving, honestly, but this one just took me a few extra minutes, unfortunately. But I do enjoy them. I do find the challenge fun. So I hope if you're a subscriber, you do as well. Anyway, that should be up there. And all sorts of other bonus videos on the Patreon campaign at patreon.com/dailysolve if you are interested in that. Other benefits as well. And the new Twitter account at The Daily Solve. I'll just mention that briefly. Anyway, let's move on to some comments from yesterday. In fact, I only have two here, so I apologize if there are more that maybe came in after I did my sweep. But Patrick Carthy, this was a fun post, said, "It's exciting to see Eliel Saarinen in the puzzle. I visited one of his last buildings, Christchurch Lutheran, a few years ago and think about it often. It's a beautiful piece of modernist architecture." Also, Eero, his son, that other commenters mentioned, designed an additional wing to finish his father's original vision. So, yes, I was familiar with Eero Saarinen, and I think mentioned him in the puzzle, and I speculated that perhaps Eliel was his son. Nope, turns out his father, and I wasn't familiar with that architect, so I will certainly look up some of his works. And Kathleen Quinn, and I think some other people, but the first comment on this topic I saw was from Kathleen Quinn, gently informs me that the shape of the letter C itself is an arc. I tried to think of every possible thing that a C could be, and I think I thought of temperatures and mathematical symbols and Roman numeral for 100 and all sorts of things. And what I didn't think of was an arc, which was the answer. And even after I saw the answer, I didn't understand it somehow. It's just that the letter C is comprised of an arc, and that's it. So thanks. Thanks, Kathleen, and everyone else who pointed that out. I don't know how I miss these things sometimes. So, speaking of missing things, I hope I don't do too much of that in today's crossword because it is a Saturday, and it is a Saturday puzzle constructed by Adam Aronson and edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So, shall we get right onto it? I think we shall. I am ready to get started. Okay. Maker of the Karma quadcopter drone. I have not a clue. East Timor's capital. Not sure offhand. Hopefully I can get it with some crosses. Call to a mate. Ahoy, perhaps? Perhaps a mate meaning a shipmate at sea. Prego procedure. Not sure offhand. County that's home to Plymouth, England. Boy, I should really know this, and it's also not coming to mind. That's infuriating. Mocking, maybe. I don't know. I could have said aping, but that doesn't. I wonder if ahoy is incorrect. Joins. Yeah. I think this might be call to a mate. Maybe is wrong. I'm not sure. Let's just keep going for now and see what else happens. Like white eyes and wheat ears. I'm not sure. Are those deer or something? River, that's a letter off from 20 across. Oh, and here we have C, that's a letter off from 15 across. So we need a river and a C that differ by a single letter. A default result, maybe. Oh boy, this could be referring to a lot of things. I mean, it could be a sports thing. It could be a number of other things. Chilling. Could be eerie. Capital whose name means smoky bay, referencing the steam from its hot springs. Not sure. And there's that C, hockey star Patrick. No idea. Let's move on. Blank friendly eco label. I don't know. Earth friendly? I have no idea. Netflix series that caused a 2017 surge in Eggo sales. Stranger Things, perhaps? Did that have Eggos in it? Joins. I mean, it could be welds. It could be meets. What was this? Mocking, maybe? Yeah. So it could end in ing. Could be aping. Let's see. Does that help over here? Blank friendly eco label. Green friendly. Heads. Rego Procedure. Chalamet of 2021's Dune. I think this is Timothée. I think his name is pronounced. Palme d'Or Field would be ciné, cinema in French. Heads. Or maybe it's film, actually. It says field, doesn't say a French word. Does that work at all? Prego Procedure, heads, maybe not. What bakers might do their level best to make? So there's a question mark here, so some sort of pun or wordplay. I wonder if level best could have something to do with leveling off a cup of flour or something like that. Flour, I mean, it could start with flour. Hockey star Patrick, that's not helpful for me. And there's the sea and the river. Oh, and they're a letter off. So, oh, right. Okay, sorry. I think I had been thinking of this. Even I sort of didn't look at the grid and thought one of them would be one letter longer than the other. But in fact, they'll be. I was thinking one had an extra letter or something like that. But no, they're the same number of letters. It's just one of them differs. I see. Oh, so probably the Aral and the Ural, maybe? Or no, the Ural Mountains. Is there an Ural River? I'm not sure. Heavily engaged in. This isn't starting very promisingly. I think I had better luck with the boss words puzzle yesterday in terms of starting off. Groups with lots of issues to talk through. Ends with an S, maybe. Lots of issues to talk through. Could be magazine editors or something like that. Newspaper, newsrooms, maybe. Good rooms. I think I might be thinking of this too much in the sort of clever boss words wordplay sense, possibly, but maybe not. Donnie Blank, title role for Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, Donnie Darko. I didn't even remember that was him, but it must be that. Probably was presumptuous with this flour thing. What bakers might do their level best to make? A rack? Cake? Layer cake? Layer cake. You make levels in a cake. There we go. Okay. So I was completely wrong with what I thought the wordplay was, in fact. And that does suggest that Palme d'Or Field is cine there. Um, so what is heads? Is this wrong? Stranger Things must be right. It would be far too much of a coincidence otherwise. Anyone who has ever worn a blank spells it blank, per a 2018 New York Times article. What article of clothing would fit a thong? Not sure. Boy, this hockey star Patrick is not going to give me any help. Sorry for my slow start here today. Stadium refrain. It could be ole ole, possibly, if it was a football chant. Blank country, alt country maybe? Is that a music genre? I have no idea, but it's possible. 9 to 5, e.g., odds possibly. It looks like a shift. It looks like a work shift, but it must be odds. So needing to be charged as a battery could be dead. Groups with lots of issues to talk through, right? Could be teams. I mean, it probably is something plural. Although, what is this heads? This must be wrong. Why am I not? Yeah, I don't understand what it is I'm missing about. I'm clearly missing something somewhere around here. To foul up is to err. You might take the bait from one. This really looks like teams over here, doesn't it? And heavily engaged in. Knee deep. Right, right. Sorry, I forgot to really consider this parenthetical in. So as I explained a number of times, but in case you're new to this series or crossword, when when the end of the expression is parenthetical like this, what it means is that we can apply the in to both the clue and the answer, and that will allow the answer to match the clue even more concretely. So heavily engaged matches knee deep, but that's sort of not quite there, right? When we say heavily engaged in and knee deep in, that really makes it clear what we mean. That makes the synonym much neater. So that's what that's about. So, what is this groups with lots of issues to talk through? Oh, debate teams. I was looking for a pun. I really am trained in, I'm getting, it's because I had just solved that boss words puzzle. I'm really looking for everything to be some kind of misdirection. So I wanted issues to be issues of a newspaper or a magazine or something, but no, it's a little more straightforward. It's still slight misdirection because when you say talk through issues, you'd think you mean sort of psychological issues of I have some real issues to get through here, but it was a little bit more straightforward than I was trying to make it. I think to stay out for too long would be to oversleep. You're out, you're unconscious, you're asleep. And then monitor of a tap. Monitor of a tap. What does that mean? Apologies if you know exactly what it means. Not quite saying it. Notorious online hub for illegal file sharing with the. Oh, sorry. The monitor of a tap is a spy, as in a wiretap on a phone or something. Sorry. There it is. The Pirate Bay. I remember hearing a lot. Pirate Bay was somehow in the news all the time, maybe a decade ago. I don't remember what was notable about it. I guess it just sort of became uh, emblematic of a particular kind of piracy, I suppose. All right, see, that's a letter off from 15 across. Right, here we go. Maybe it is Aral and Aral. So, mother and wife of Uranus. Is that Hera? That would allow this to be the Aral Sea. And then Reading, for instance, is a railroad in Monopoly. And I guess that also existed in reality. Maker of the Karma quadricopter drone, right? I don't think I know this company. Hopri. Hopra looks. Oh, is it GoPro? Oh, Gaia, not Hera, sorry. And then Chilling is Eerie. It must be GoPro. I didn't know GoPro made drones. Okay. And then Like White Eyes and Wheat Ears. Oh, avian. They must be birds, not deer. And then with 39 down, wait. Maybe one sec, maybe? 1 second? Epitome and activity with the drawing of names and blank Parker handbag retailer. Oh no, wait, that wasn't. Sec was what I was trying to check. And then something good eaters join. Probably some kind of club. Clean plate club? Played out, tired. First person to appear simultaneously on the American and British covers of Vogue. I October 2021. That was just last month. I don't know. I mean, I suppose based on five letters starting with an A, maybe Adele. And if one got rid of something, one shed it. And then does that help over here? Savory sauce made with chocolate, mole. Not always actually chocolate, but I think in an American context, that's the most common. Sport with a big pay-per-view audience in brief. Oh, I suppose got rid of isn't shed, even though it could be. I mean, that is valid. But I think sport with a big pay-per-view audience is probably mixed martial arts, and so got rid of is axed. Um, and then you might take the bait from one. Oh, a tackle box. If you go fishing, you have your tackle box, I guess. And yes, of course, I remember. It's how I feel about this puzzle. I'm finally starting to remember these various words that were really not coming to mind early in the solve. Activity with a drawing of names. A secret Santa, I suppose. And a word with talking or horse. Sense, I think. Talking sense, you're being logical, or and then horse sense. I think essentially means common sense. I think horse sense basically means good, solid instincts. Car music player button. Oh, seek. I think this strangely came up in the crossword just mere days ago. I think this very week. The button you would press to have the radio automatically find you a strong frequency. Shade of pink. Salmon, I suppose. And home of the Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque. Oman, Iran, I'm not sure. Casual pants material, oh, chino, so probably Oman. And then lead role in the Vampire Diaries. I've never seen that, but it looks like it could be Elena, maybe. And lead into medicine, nanomedicine, is that a thing? Passages in a long story. Halls. We've got a question mark indicating a pun or wordplay. So a long story, a long floor of a building, for instance. So you could have a passages, halls in it. And then 2019 Super Bowl loser for short. Larum. Oh, LA Ram. Sorry. Not Larum. I was thinking maybe it was a surname or something, but nope, it's not. I think it's a team name, Los Angeles Ram, presumably. And then this must be nanomedicine and Elena in the Vampire Diaries. I certainly hope that's what it is. Seems plausible. And epitome. So the epitome is sort of it's emblematic of something, which I guess is weirdly a word I used earlier. It's the ideal. Why am I not seeing what it is? Don't wait. Could be stat, do it as fast as possible, or I suppose it could also be ASAP. Stat seems more likely, I suppose, because ASAP is an initialism, and there's no indication of that in the clue. Not so big shot. I don't know. Maybe it's neither of these. And slick in quotation marks. So that could be referring to a nickname. It could also be referring to something spoken, I suppose. Could, if you were to say nice, slick, well done. You might have a file for this. A nail file, maybe? Nail something? Nail care, maybe? Does that work? Let's just try it and see. Suddenly show up could be to crop up, maybe. And once again, we've got that parenthetical up. So suddenly show up and crop up. And site of a famous tilt in European history. Oh, so initially I thought tilt meaning jousting match between knights, but no, probably Pisa, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, I bet. A collection of brains, Mensa, the organization for smart people, I guess, which came up in the crossword a couple weeks ago. Spinning initials. Spinning initials, I'm not sure. Director Sam. Not sure offhand, and most likely in a text. So does this mean a text meaning a book, a manuscript of some kind, or Does it mean in a text message? Not actually sure what it means. Eponym of Israel's largest airport. That would be Ben Gurion, David Ben Gurion, namesake. Not so big shot, right? BBs. I see. Not so big shot. I was putting the emphasis in the wrong place. It was obviously some intentional misdirection there. It means shot, ammunition from a gun that is not very big, so little BBs, as opposed to bullets, full-on bullets. So don't wait does look like stat. Oh, an epitome is height. I see. Right. So those boss words, stormy, difficulty level, competition puzzles are the height of difficulty for me, I would say. Epitome. Slick. Oh, so neat. Yeah, neat. Slick. And it's in quotation marks because it's something, it's an exclamation, you would say. Scented products that cause underwater explosions. Bath bombs, I suppose. And I see, most likely in a text. So it is a text message and is probs. I'm not surprised. Not surprised I didn't get that initially. I definitely needed crosses for it. Oh, and then spinning initials. This one I should have gotten more quickly. RPM, revolutions per minute. So used to measure revolutions in a car engine, for instance, or whatever else. But that's a pretty common use. Is it a tachometer, I think, that measures that? Okay, so now we've got to return to this more challenging upper part of the grid. Now, do we think the river is the Ural River? Anyone who's ever worn a blank spells it blank. Oh, is it a do-rag? Ah, as opposed to the spelling D-O-R-A-G? I wonder. That would make more sense than thong, because I don't know what other spelling thong would have that this person would be objecting to. So hockey star Patrick, I don't know. East Timor's capital, Sword. Sword could be ilk. Capital, oh, this must be Reykjavik. Capital whose name means smoky bay, referencing the steam from its hot springs. So can I spell Reykjavik? That's the question. No. Oh, I'm not sure. Leave that for now. Country. Oh, Devon. Okay, yes. Devon is what I would have guessed for the county home to Plymouth, England originally. I will not guess, but what I would have been pretty sure about. But I didn't put it in there because I had called to the mate ahoy, and I was looking for something that started with H, and it was confusing. Okay. So call to a mate. I do's, but that's plural. Default result, maybe. Joins. Oh, yokes. You could be, oxen are yoked together, joined together. So call to a mate. Oh, I see what it is. G'day. And it's building on the very extremely common usage of mate in Australia. To the point that I believe, which one of Australia's former prime ministers, I can't remember which one, referred to the concept of mateship as a sort of intrinsic Aussie virtue. Anyway, prego procedure. Oh, right. Yes, prego means you're welcome, no problem. So grazie would be the procedure in Italian. You'd say grazie, prego. All right, a default result. Oh, a redo. So I think that is a sports thing. There's a default, something went wrong in a way that is allowed a redo. Oh, maybe not. No, sorry, it isn't. It actually isn't, even though I think that might be sort of plausible. It's actually a repo, a repossession. So if you default on a house or your car payments or something, it could be repossessed. And then that does make mocking aping, one of my early guesses that I never quite filled in. So Reykjavik. Is this a Y here? Oof. That's a tough one. Ozone friendly eco label. That looks right. And then what is this heads? Oh, I see. Oh, it's a J here, Reykjavik, yes. So John's, heads meaning a toilet. Boy, this whole little quadrant over here was extremely challenging for me. Even after I broke into it, it remained tough the entire puzzle. And the rest of the puzzle was actually not that tough. The rest of the puzzle for a Saturday was on the easy side, but that little corner, what a what a what a tough one. Oh, did I ever? I don't even think I ever saw this clue. Nobel-winning daughter of Marie and Pierre Curie. Is it Irene? Patrick Kane. I hope it is, because all of these are proper nouns. I've got East Timor's capital, Nobel-winning daughter of Marie and Pierre Curie, and hockey star Patrick. But I'm pretty sure this is Dilly, Irene, and Kane. I've never heard of Patrick Kane, but yes, it is. Great. Okay. So that was a sort of an interesting combination of quite challenging and pretty straightforward. Yeah, that was interesting. I really feel as though I sort of made quite steady progress throughout the bottom of the puzzle. A bit of challenge up here in the northwest, certainly around this Karma quadcopter drone and the white ears and or white eyes and wheat ears. And then Errol and Earl, that was one that I kind of wanted it to be that, but I don't. I wonder if the Earl River is near the Earl Mountains. Probably is. I don't think I know that river, but it did seem plausible because the names are so similar. And it turns out it was. This was really the tough area over here. This G'day call to a mate, really thought that was ahoy, and that really threw me off on Plymouth, Devon, which is in the southwest of England near Cornwall. And aping, I probably should have put in earlier. Don't know why I didn't. Yolks, I'm not really surprised I didn't get yolks very quickly. And Reykjavik was fun to spot, but again, even after actually identifying what it was, it still provided a bit of resistance because I wasn't completely confident about how it's spelled. Even though now that I see it, it looks right. I was struggling to really nail down this J-A here. Speaking of which, grazie. I don't know. Yeah, that I should have gotten earlier based on Prego, but I didn't. And Cine was fairly certain about that early on, and once again, had so much trouble in this area that I was constantly re-entering it and deleting it, doubting my guess. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. Please let me know how you fared with it. I'm curious if people found this easy for a Saturday or hard for a Saturday, because I kind of found it to be both. So let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do subscribe to the channel, and then you will be able to easily find this series as it's posted each day. It's going up a little late today. I'm sorry about that. I had a complicated morning, but it's up now. And again, if you're a Patreon subscriber, what is also should be up definitely by the time this video is posted is the latest Boss Words Fall Themeless League competition. And if you're interested in that and you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to the Patreon campaign at patreon.com/dailysolve, where you can find many bonus videos from the months that the Patreon campaign has been running, and they continue to go up. I mean, currently at least 2 on a weekly basis and sometimes more. So I hope everyone who's subscribed to that considers it to be worthwhile. And one of the things that's also available there is recognition at the end of these videos for the generous support that is provided that allows me to make this series sustainable and an ongoing part of my daily work. And I really appreciate that. And today, I would like to thank Cass Wilkinson Saldana, as well as the inestimable Hood Monster and the incomparable Shantanu Bhatia. So thank you, Cass. Thank you, Hood Monster. Thank you, Shantanu, for your support. I really do very much appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to everyone else who has backed the Patreon campaign. And thanks to you for watching this video. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of this sort of rocky solve, a little bit rocky, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday puzzle. Probably a big long one, big long video based on a big old grid. So please do return for that. I hope you will. And until that point, have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.